to Rating the List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts. I'm Jeri.
And I'm Brad, and on this episode we'll be exploring number 9 from Jeri's top 20 movies of all time. And her number 9 is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Released in 1989, directed by Stephen Herrick, written by Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon, edited by Larry Bach and Patrick Rind, starring Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter. Two dim-witted teens set off on a quest to prepare the ultimate historical presentation with the help of a time machine. What can you say about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? This is just a really, really fun movie. I think this appeals to you. It's got quirky characters. Mm-hmm. It's got quirky stuff going on. Mm-hmm. It's funny.
Yep.
It's fun. I mean, there's just a lot to like. It's very quotable.
Yes, very quotable. And it's also a time traveling movie. I do like a good time travel movie.
And this one's actually, the time travel stuff is actually pretty well done.
Yeah. Yeah. In a freaking phone booth.
Yeah.
You know?
The phone booth is a callback to Doctor Who. So, there's a nod to Doctor Who there. The historical characters in this movie are freaking hilarious.
Napoleon is probably the best.
Napoleon's great. You've got Napoleon. We've got Napoleon. I just watched this song. I should know all these. Napoleon, Beethoven.
Socrates.
Genghis Khan, Joan of Arc.
Sigmund Freud,
Billy the Kid, Abraham Lincoln.
Did you say Genghis Khan?
I did.
Okay.
I think that's all of them.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's all of them. But it's just it's so hilarious. How they both it's a fish out of water movie, and then it's a fish out of water movie with fish out of water movie on top of it, because they're fish out of water, going through history. And then they bring all of these historical characters into the present. And
have them hang out at the mall.
Yeah. So you've got Beethoven, discovering, an electric keyboard. So he's, doing
he's
this,
jamming out.
He's jamming out with one of my favorite, I mentioned this to you. I was, watching it. I was one of my favorite background things in a movie ever is there's a kid in the background at the mall. He's wearing the piped Pirates hat from the 70s, the Pittsburgh Pirates hat. And then he's wearing the rainbow Astros jersey. I'm just how are those two things going together?
He's the costume, or just put that on. Put it on.
It reminds me of I forget the John Claude Van Damme movie. I think it's what you call it, where
Bloodsport.
It's Bloodsport, where he's wearing a San Francisco Giants hat and a New York Giants football jersey. I'm do you guys even know anything about sports? But it was just that totally caught my eye the last time. I'm that is ridiculous. I love it. That's just in there. But then Joan of Arc is leading a jazzercise class.
Yeah. She pushes the lady aside and takes over her class.
Yeah, and then Genghis Khan is eluding the police in the sporting goods store, and using stuff in the sporting goods store as weapons. Napoleon at the most excellent water slides.
Oh my God. He's having the time of his life at the water slides. And what's great too is it Ted's brother?
Yes.
It's Ted's brother. He tasks his brother to keep an eye on Napoleon while they go and do some more time travel stuff.
Ditch him because he's being a dick.
Yeah, they're he's such an asshole. Because he is.
Yeah.
He's a total jerk. Yeah. But they're so annoyed. But he goes to the water slide. He pushes kids out of the line so he can get through.
He's wearing these bloomers and stuff. It's really hilarious.
Yeah, and then they take him to the ice cream parlor.
Oh yeah.
Right? And they're Ziggy
Biggie.
And he eats all of the It's like a Farrell's, kind of, if you remember Farrell's.
Well, yeah,
it's like this huge bucket
like,
of ice cream.
You get like a prize, like a lot of places, you know, like if you eat like the huge steak or the hottest, like, you know, thing on the menu or whatever. This place, like if you ate the thing, if you're like a Ziggy Piggy, you get like you know, I forget what they got, but
I can't remember. But oops, sorry. It's just a really funny movie. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are freaking hilarious in this movie.
Yeah, they're a couple, you know, brain dead, you know.
They're
dumb.
brain dead, but they're not so brain dead to where you're like, oh, these guys, you know? They're actually really, in their own way, trying really hard to pass this class.
Hey, Bill, you remember that time I asked your mom to prom? Shut up, Ted.
Shut up, Ted. And, you know, they have this band, Wild Stallions, right? But they don't know how to play the instruments.
Well, and that's the thing, is like the reason that Rufus, who's played by the late, great George Carlin, he comes back in time, is like he needs them to pass this class because they've got to become Wild Stallions, because the music of Wild Stallion becomes like this huge like uniting factor for all of humanity, and it like makes like, you know, like this great like future society, like everyone listens to their music and everyone's like lives by like, you know, like Bill and Ted kind of have this like very, you know, very positive worldview, you know. It's like be excellent to each other, and
yes,
you know, they're just like basically like surfer dudes for the most part. They're just laid back, and like that's how society is like going to become. But for that to happen, Wild Stallions has to happen.
Yep.
So in order to make Wild Stallions happen, George Carlin's like, I gotta
help them. We gotta help them out and get them going on this project.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good time. You know, I remember watching this in the movie theater. My friend and I dressed up as Bill and Ted for Halloween one year.
Excellent.
Yes, I was very, very into this movie. I still am. Like, if it's on TV, I'll watch it for sure.
Were you Ted?
Yes, I was Ted. She was blonde, so she was...
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. And I was, like, into vests at the time. So I had a black vest. Anyway, but yeah, it's a really fun, entertaining movie. If you ever get a chance, please watch it. It's good stuff.
Bogus Journey comes out a couple years later.
That's pretty good too.
It's pretty good, and one of the highlights of the pandemic was Bill and Ted Face the Music. So they did a third movie. They hadn't, you know, it'd been almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Since they'd done a sequel, and they do this sequel to the movie, and it came at the right time. We were all down. Lockdown sucked. The world was in a real bad place, and you know, the healing powers of, you know, Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan, it was there again.
Yeah,
and it was a really good time.
It was pretty good. I have to say. One of the, or two of the most iconic characters out there.
Yeah. So a lot, you know, they both owe, you know, something to Sean Penn's Spicoli.
Yeah.
Because every character who's like this since then plays that, but they do make these their own. Keanu Reeves has obviously gone on to have a very, very massive career. Alex Winter has largely been behind the camera. He's directed quite a number of things, mostly documentaries, but he's done quite a bit. He doesn't get in front of the camera very often, so it was also kind of cool to see him back in front of the camera again. Yeah. With the two of them.
I think they're still really good friends.
They became, well, what happened was, the story goes that when they were both reading for this movie, like after the audition, they just like went across the street to like Burger King or something, and they just like became friends, and they've been like really good friends like ever since.
That's great.
And they've been talking about making a third movie forever and ever, and they just hadn't come up with an idea, and they finally came up with an idea and did it.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Do you have any other things
No,
on this movie?
you know, this movie did make, it was in my top 100. It wasn't super high. It was like 85 or something.
Okay.
Like, so I really enjoy these movies. I gave this a 70.6.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have seen Bill and Ted and you would like to tell us how you feel about this movie or share your favorite quote with us in the comments, please like and subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to talk to us directly, please do so at ratingthelist@gmail.com. But I think that is it for now. I'm Jeri.
I'm Brad.
And we're rating the list. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.